Now, let's be honest. I know that sometimes teaching online or creating your lessons, the lesson plan, how everything is going to go, the slides, and all of that can be a bit flat and boring sometimes. And you're wondering, how can I make it more interesting for my learners? Today, we're going to be talking about how you can create interactive lessons. Okay, we're going to be looking at the tips. We're going to be looking at what to do, where to go for you to create interactive lessons. And just in case this is your first time here, my name is Miss Blessing, and this is I Teach with Miss B, and I help teachers thrive and grow in the online space. Whether you are a physical classroom teacher or you are an online teacher, what I'm going to be sharing today, you are going to be needing it in your classes. Let's try to make our classroom interesting and fun. Yesterday, I was watching a video on Instagram, and a particular teacher was she played a beat, and she and her students were singing along together. Trust me, those students will never forget what she has taught them. What did she try to do? She tried to make the classroom or the lessons interactive and interesting using music. So today we're going to be looking at some of these things that you would need, okay, to make your classes fun and interesting. Now we have a lot of things that can help us. We should not create boring lessons for us. First tip I want to share is using an interactive warm-up. Using an interactive warm-up or a hook. Yeah, I'm going to call it a hook or interactive warm-up. What do I mean by this? Now, when you start your lessons, whether it's a 1 hour class, 45 minutes class, the first thing I want you to do before you even say, okay, let's revise what we did in our previous class, you could use a picture prompt. Maybe put up a picture and tell me, use an adjective or use one adjective to describe the picture. And then they begin to, enthusiastic and all of that. They begin to call different adjectives describing the picture. You've gotten them interested. Or you could go ahead and use a game. You could use a game, maybe 5 minutes game, to ask a question, and then they go ahead to give you the answers. Or you could put up a flashcard or group them, and then you try to see, you give them a task, and then you try to see who is going to finish first, what group is going to finish first, and all of that. That is you getting them ready for the lessons. Now, one thing I've noticed is that when you use a hook or you use an interactive warm-up, the children are open to learning. Okay, that initial time or that initial part opens them up to learning. There was a time I started my class, and when I brought in everyone, when everyone came in, the atmosphere was really down. And I was thinking, what can I do to make these students come up? And then I said, everyone, I have something to share. Everyone got to look at me, and the next thing I said, I have two truths and one lie, and I want you to guess the truth and the lie from the truth. And I gave them the proof. Trust me, everyone was just throwing answers. It's the first one. No, it's the second one. No, it's the first one. It's the second one. Why do you think? And then I will not ask, why do you think it's the first one? We did this in 5 minutes, but trust me, that little conversation here that we had made everything open up in class that day. So when I dived into my lesson, it was quite interesting because by then everyone wanted to now participate in whatever we were doing. But if I had continued my lesson with the way it was initially, trust me, they won't have even flowed with me. They might be there, but they're not going to enjoy the class the way I would have wanted them to enjoy the class, right? So using interactive warm-up is one beautiful thing I want you to take. The next thing I want you to add is add student-led moments. Student-led moment simply means that let your students lead, okay? As a teacher, it's not every time you talk. Let your students lead the classroom. Sometimes you put up the slide, let them read, and then tell you what they think, right? Or let them read and then explain it to you. When you give them the avenue to talk to you about what they are learning, they learn better. That's the truth. They learn better, they learn faster, because whatever it is that they have said, they hardly forget it more than what you say to them. Okay, so if they read it and they can analyze it in their own way, I will tell them, go ahead, tell me in your own words, what do you think this is? Okay, I think the last class we had, we were talking about emotion words, and then we talked about some emotion words, and I put up the words sanguine, and I asked them, what do you think sanguine means? I received a lot of different answers. Like, the children gave me answers that were not related to it, and then I said, no, it means to be hopeful or optimistic. Really, is that what it is? And then I started laughing, right? Now, this student-led moment opens them up to your learning. It makes retention faster. It makes them relate with you. It makes them understand and remember, right? Whatever it is. The third one I want to share is the use of interactive tools. Now, interactive tools can be where they get to do their activities for the day, right? It could be their whiteboard, it could be maybe a slide, it could be whatever it is, that it could be the whiteboard they're sharing on Zoom, or their personal OneNote, or their whiteboard where they're doing their activities for the day. Now, when you're done teaching, it's expected that the children should be able to write something based on what you have taught, right? Based on the discussion that you guys have had in class, based on the slides you have shared. It's important, or it's necessary that they have a task that they are going to do. Now, when they are doing this task, it shows that you have taught as a teacher. It shows that you have taught and they understood what you have taught. If they don't understand, you'll see that they will not be able to do the task, right? So that's one way you used to know that your students actually heard what you said, and it's another way for you to know that your student understood what was being taught, right? So it is good that you use an interactive tool, or your whiteboard, your slides, whatever it is. Ensure that, and please, as a teacher, I would say get these things ready before class starts. At the time I walked into a teacher's class, or I entered a teacher's class where the teacher was teaching, and it was while she was teaching, or when the child was waiting, that was when she was setting up what the child was supposed to do. Please do not do that. That's a huge sign of unprofessionalism, right? So all these things should be prepared, all your slides should be opened, everything that you know you're going to use for that class that day should be ready before the students even come in. Get them ready. I usually prepare my work a week ahead, just so that I'm not under pressure to do anything, yeah? So you know what you're going to teach, get these activities ready, and then you give them. That's another way for you to test them. It's not every time you use the Google form assessment. That is why it's important that you know how to use the whiteboard. The first one I want to add is that you incorporate movement sometimes. Incorporate movement, whether you're teaching online or physically. Incorporate movement. Tell them stand up, hands up, down, this, that, flex your fingers. They are typing, right? Flex your fingers. Anything that is going to incorporate movement, please incorporate movement. If you're teaching younger learners, ensure that they are moving. Move to the left, move to the right. You're dancing at some point with them. After 30 minutes, let there be icebreakers. This does not apply to all ages, but if you're teaching younger learners, there should be icebreakers in the middle. There should be something that is going to bring them out of their shell again after a while, even while they're working, okay? Or even before they do their tasks. Even if maybe you're giving them a task and then they work for like 15 minutes, you begin to call their names. How are you doing? Do you need help? Let me know what's going on and all of that. So introduce movement little by little. There was a time that I started my class with scavenger hunt. I just told them, everyone was seated, and I said, everybody get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Everyone was wondering what was it. I said, get something blue. You see everyone running. They were running to get something blue. What did I do? I made them move, right? So when they came back, they were beating, oh, I rushed, and I was happy, right? I got them moving. So try to incorporate movement rather into your class. You could use games, you could use scavenger hunts. And please, again, I want to also advise, when you're using games, do not overdo it. Don't let them get too used to you using games, okay? Or using one particular game. Use varieties, and there should be a time frame. Don't use like 30 minutes of your class to be playing games alone. Doesn't tell well of you as a teacher, right? So there should be activities that they're doing, and reduce the games. Like when I mention games, these are on different days, and you could do them in 5-10 minutes, you're done, okay? And then you focus into the lesson, because the truth is that they must learn, or they are supposed to be learning. If you've watched to this point, I know that you're following. Please click on the like, subscribe, and share button. Let's go to the fifth one. Now, the fifth one, or the last one I want to share, is reflection. Okay, at the end of the class, you guys should be able to reflect. You should be able to reflect on what you guys have learned today. You could ask them, okay, so before we end the class, can you tell me what we learned today? Or can you tell me what new thing or what new word you were able to get at the end of today's class? There should be reflection. The students should be able to refer to what they've learned in class. They should be able to relate with you what they've been able to learn in class. In the next video I'm going to be sharing with us how we can structure our online classes, a 1 hour class, because some teachers usually have issues structuring their classes, and sometimes you see that the student walk to the end of the class, or we teach over 40 minutes and without even taking note of what should be done at each point in time. So in my next video, I'm going to be doing that. So like I said, reflect on your lessons. Ask them, what was your favorite part of today's lesson? What was one thing you learned today? And what do you think that we should do to make our class better? There was a time I asked that question. The responses I got were so funny. So try again, or try to ask those questions to your students and get good response. Thank you for watching. And just in case you are an online tutor that needs to start and you don't know know where to start from, I have a book in the description box. Just click on the link, the seller link in the description box. It's called the Online Teaching Blueprint. It's going to tell you everything that has to do with online teaching. And I know you've got some value from this video I've shared. If you're looking for a way to send constructive feedback to parents, please click on the link. Click on the video that is going to be showing down here. And if you're also looking for a way to start online, don't know what to do, I have a playlist recorded for you. Don't worry, sit back. I just click on the playlist here, and then you're going to watch the videos that I have shared. Until I see you in my next video, bye.